Hi there, I'm really glad you're here. I don't know if you're listening to this while folding laundry, doing dishes, or just trying to catch your breath in a quiet corner. But if you've ever stood in your home, looked around, and thought, where do I even start then? You're not alone. Sometimes it's not even that the house is messy. It's that feeling of always cleaning, always rushing, always behind, and still somehow everything feels out of control, including yourself. I've been there. And what helped me wasn't working harder, it was building a few small, steady habits that made everything feel more manageable. So in this video, I'm going to share 12 of those habits with you. Not because I think you should do everything I do, but in case even just one small shift helps you find your footing again. Because sometimes that's all it takes, one tiny change to help your home and your mind feel a little lighter. Let's start with something small, but surprisingly powerful. One of the reasons our homes never feel truly tidy is this: we walk out of a room empty-handed over and over again. It sounds harmless. A coffee cup left on the side table, a pair of socks kicked under the couch, a toy abandoned on the hallway floor. We see them, we mean to get to them, but we don't not right away. So I started doing one small thing. Every time I leave a room, I look around for just one item that doesn't belong, and I take it with me. A dish to the sink, a shirt to the laundry basket, a book to the shelf in the next room. It takes almost no effort. But by the end of the day, those tiny moves add up. No dedicated cleaning time, just shifting clutter as you move through your real day. And emotionally, it helps you feel like you're not always behind. You're quietly staying ahead, one small choice at a time. Tomorrow, I'll be sharing a few ways to reset your living room without turning it into a deep clean session, so stay tuned for that. But right now, let's talk about something that changed the way I feel about cooking at home. It's a habit I wish I'd picked up much sooner. Next is a shift that changed how I use waiting time and how clean my kitchen feels after dinner. You know that feeling, the meal's simmering, and you finally have a moment to breathe. So you scroll your phone or just stare off into space. That used to be me. I'd be waiting for water to boil or rice to finish, and I'd let that moment slip through my fingers only to face a mountain of mess later. Then I made one quiet shift. I started using those few minutes of waiting to clean. Wipe down the counters while the sauce simmers. Rinse the knife and cutting board while the oven preheats. Put away spices as soon as you use them. It's not about multitasking, it's about moving in rhythm with the kitchen instead of letting the mess pile up behind you. One of my go-to moves. As soon as I pour the pasta into the pot, I immediately clear the prep zone. By the time dinner's ready, the kitchen already feels halfway clean. And here's the thing. These little moments don't just save time, they make you feel more in control of your space. Less dread, more ease. I'll be talking more about how to organize your kitchen tools without buying anything new in an upcoming video. But for now, there's another habit that helps eliminate mess before it even starts. Let's go there next. Then comes the habit that stops clutter before it even starts. Give everything a home. You're not messy, your stuff just doesn't know where to go. That's something I had to admit to myself. I wasn't lazy or disorganized. I just had way too many items with no assigned spot. And when things don't have a home, they wander. And when they wander, they pile up. And then suddenly you're yelling, who left this here, when the truth is, no one ever knew where here was to begin with. So I started doing one thing every week. I picked 3 items that always seemed to float around the house and gave each of them a permanent spot. One week it was chargers, another week reusable shopping bags, another hair clips. Especially the clips. Those things multiply like rabbits. No fancy bins, no label maker, just one clear rule: if you use it, you know where it goes back. And if it doesn't have a home yet, it gets one or it gets out. You'd be surprised how much calmer your space feels when you're not constantly thinking, where should I put this? It's like background stress you didn't even realize you were carrying gone. Now let's talk about what to do with all those quick drops. You know, the jacket on the chair, the mail on the counter. The next habit stops those right where they start. After that, we deal with the drop zones and learn to put things back before they become piles. We all have that one chair or corner that turns into a dumping ground. A jacket here, today's mail, there, a half-unpacked bag that sits for days. It starts as just for now, but somehow now turns into forever, and you end up living around small piles that quietly steal your energy. What helped me shift this was something embarrassingly simple. I started pausing just for 20 seconds and asking myself, where does this actually go? If it's a clean jacket, it goes back in the closet. If it's used straight into the laundry, if it's mail I haven't opened it, lands in a little tray by the entryway. Nothing fancy, just clear. This doesn't mean I never drop things where they don't belong. I still do. But now I catch myself. And the more I catch myself, the less the mess builds up. The house stays clearer, and so does my mind. What I love most is that it removes that guilty feeling of, I should have cleaned this days ago, because you're never letting it get that far in the first place. Let's keep going. The next habit is all about tricking your brain into feeling accomplished even when your day feels completely scattered. Now, let's try a mental trick that helps when everything feels too big. Break it down until it feels doable. Some days, I'd look at my to-do list and feel exhausted before I even started. Clean the kitchen, sort the laundry, organize the closet. They all sound simple until real life hits. Suddenly, it's 4 p.m. Nothing's been touched, and I'm reaching for the cookies instead of the broom. So I changed how I wrote tasks. I stopped writing big goals and started breaking them into what I call bite-sized wins. Instead of do laundry, I write start a load. Then later move it to the dryer. Then finally fold and put away socks only. That's it. And sometimes, yes, the socks are all that get folded. But that's still a win. This trick rewires how your brain sees effort. When something looks doable, you're more likely to start. And when you start, you build momentum even on messy, unpredictable days. I've even applied this to cooking. One task is just pull ingredients. Another is chop veggies. When I don't try to make dinner all at once, I don't freeze up and order takeout. Breaking things down helps you move, and movement, even small beats perfection every time. Now let's look at a habit that makes it even easier to stay tidy, not by doing more, but by owning less. Tip 6 is less about effort and more about owning less so your home can breathe again. There was a point when I realized I wasn't overwhelmed because I had too much to do. I was overwhelmed because I had too much to manage. Too many dishes, too many towels, too many just-in-case items that filled every shelf and drawer. Every object in the house had a little weight attached to it, and I was carrying all of it. So I stopped asking, should I keep this, and started asking, if this disappeared tomorrow, would I even notice? Now I keep a simple donation box in a corner of the hallway. Nothing fancy, just a cardboard box. Anytime I touch something I don't use, don't like, or wouldn't buy again, it goes in the box. When it's full, I drop it off and start again. No drama, no perfection. This practice isn't about becoming a minimalist. It's about making space for the things you actually use and letting go of the silent pressure that comes from having to manage everything all the time. Because when your home holds less, it asks less from you. And on the hard days, that difference matters. Coming up, let's look at a mental reset. You can build into your day one that takes less than 15 minutes but helps your home feel stable even when life isn't. Moving on to a rhythm that anchors your day with 2 tiny reset points that help everything feel calmer. There was a time when my house felt like a snow globe constantly shaken, things never quite settling. I'd clean one area, turn around, and the mess had moved to another. It felt endless, like I was never caught up. What helped wasn't more cleaning. It was choosing 2 small reset points in my day, one in the morning, one in the evening. In the morning, I spend about 10-15 minutes doing what I call a soft open, straighten the beds, clear the breakfast dishes, wipe down the bathroom sink. Nothing intense, just enough to make the house feel like it's awake and functioning. In the evening before dinner, I do a quick pass through the kitchen and living room. I clear counters, toss trash, fluff a pillow or two. Again, not aiming for perfection, just resetting the space so I'm not ending my day in visual chaos. These little rhythms create a sense of closure, like your home is gently opening and closing with you instead of fighting you at every turn. Let's move to a habit that keeps that rhythm going by cutting off mess at one of its biggest sources, the drop zone. Keep going with a habit that protects your energy at night. Finish the basics before you sit down. There's this moment after dinner when the couch calls your name. The kitchen's a mess, the table's sticky, the pans are still on the stove, but your body is already halfway to horizontal. I used to tell myself I'll clean it after I rest for a bit. You know how that ends. I'd lose steam, get distracted, or just decide it could wait until morning, which meant waking up to yesterday's chaos. So I made myself a rule: I don't sit down until the basics are done. That means the food's put away, the counters are wiped, and at least the main dishes are soaking or in the washer. I don't go deep, I just clear the worst of it before I let myself relax. 10 minutes of effort now saves me an hour of frustration tomorrow. Some nights I grumble through it. Some nights I move slower than others. But every single time I'm grateful to my past self the next morning. Waking up to a clean kitchen makes the whole day feel different, like I'm walking into calm instead of catching up from behind. This habit isn't about hustle, it's about protecting your peace. And speaking of fresh starts, the next tip is a simple, quiet rule that helps keep the rest of the house from feeling like a buffet of crumbs and chaos. Then there's a simple boundary that changed how we live and how much we clean, keep food in food spaces. There was a time when I'd find cracker crumbs in the couch cushions, half-eaten fruit in someone's bedroom, and sticky spots on the floor that no one remembered creating. I'd clean the kitchen only to find the living room looked like a second dining area. So we made a simple house rule: food stays in food spaces. For us, that means the kitchen island or the dining table. Not the sofa, not the carpet, not someone's bed while they just finish their snack. We're not strict about many things, but this one changed our lives. At first, it was a shift, especially with kids. But once it became the norm, it took so much pressure off. No more surprise stains, no more crumbs attracting ants, no more chasing down mystery smells. Just fewer zones to clean and a little more peace. And the best part? It gently teaches boundaries that every space in the house has a purpose. And not every surface is a snack tray. Next, let's shift gears and talk about a habit that isn't about where you eat, but what you do with the stuff you already have, especially the stuff that seems to multiply when you're not looking. Almost there. And this one clears more than just clutter. Clear your counters, clear your mind. Clutter doesn't always come in piles. Sometimes it's just one thing on every surface. A hairbrush on the bathroom counter, a bill next to the toaster, a mug, a pen, a receipt. Nothing dramatic, but it adds up. And your brain sees all of it even when you think you're tuning it out. That's why I started focusing on just 2 counters, the kitchen and the bathroom. If I could keep those 2 spaces clear, even if the rest of the house was a little undone, I still felt okay. The visual breathing room was enough to make my day feel more manageable. It's not about keeping things spotless. I don't live in a showroom. I just give myself a 2-minute window at the start or end of the day to swipe away what doesn't belong. Trash gets tossed, things go back to their spots, and if I don't know what to do with it, well, that tells me something too. A clear counter feels like a deep breath. It reminds you that you're not drowning, you're just resetting. And sometimes all it takes to reset a day is 5 minutes and a wipe down. Let's move into a tip that's all about maintenance, but in a way that actually frees up your time, not steals more of it. Next is a reminder that the right tools make everything easier and help you follow through. There's nothing worse than feeling motivated to clean and then realizing the vacuum's too heavy, the mop's missing a part, or you're out of cleaner and don't want to deal with 5 different bottles. I used to lose momentum before I even started, so I started paying more attention to my tools. Not fancy gadgets, just the ones that made things feel doable. I switched to a lightweight vacuum that didn't make me dread stairs. I got a spin mop with a wringer because I hated bending over with a bucket. I also cut down on the number of cleaning products I owned. One good all-purpose spray lives under the sink, and that's what I use 90% of the time. It's not about buying more. It's about setting up little supports that reduce resistance. Because when cleaning feels easy to start, you're more likely to follow through, even if it's just a 5-minute reset. This isn't about being efficient. It's about being kind to your future self, the version of you that just wants to get something done without wrestling with tangled cords or decision fatigue. Let's wrap with one last habit. A grounding physical gesture that makes your home feel fresh again even after a long week. And finally, reset the energy in your home with one grounding habit. Clean the floor. Feel the shift. Sometimes when the house feels heavy, not just cluttered but emotionally heavy, I clean the floors. Not because they're dirty though, let's be honest. They usually are. But because mopping even just one room resets something deeper. It's one of the few chores where you can see and feel the difference instantly. It smells fresher. It feels lighter under your feet. Like you've cleared something invisible but real. I've started using warm water with a pinch of sea salt in it, just enough to give it that clean, almost spa-like feel. It doesn't take long. I don't haul out a big bucket. I just fill a small bowl, dip a cloth mop, and do a slow pass through the kitchen or living room. And somehow it makes the whole house feel like it got a reset. Is it magical? Maybe not, but there's something powerful about choosing to start clean, even if it's just with your floors. And after a week of small, consistent shifts, it adds up. You're no longer waiting for a deep, clean day. You're living in a home that stays calm because you've built it that way little by little. So those are the 12 habits I come back to week after week. Not to chase perfection, but to keep my home and my mind just a little more in order. Just enough to feel like I'm not drowning. Just enough to feel like I can breathe. If your house has been feeling like too much lately, not dirty, just heavy, I hope you'll try one of these habits. Not all of them. Not right away, just one. Because that's where real change begins, not in a big overhaul, but in a tiny shift that feels manageable today. None of this is about being productive. It's about building a space that gives back to you, that supports you even when the rest of life feels like a lot. If this video helped you feel even a little less alone, I hope you'll stick around. Subscribe if you want more simple ways to feel calmer at home. Or just come back when you need a reset. No pressure, no guilt. You don't need a perfect system. You just need small, steady wins. And you deserve a home that feels like it's on your side.